Congratulations. How are you feeling?
I feel good. Feel really good right now, right? Just won my fight. Pretty good fashion. I don't know if I got hit, so it's a lot better than getting in some of those dog fights that I've been in, right? So pretty good.
Do you feel like the fight kind of went the way you thought it would, or were there any surprises in there? And it was a short fight, but...
Yeah, honestly, you know, I do know that I can get off to a quick start a lot of times. I've done it multiple times in my career. I did anticipate, you know, to go in there, to strike a lot more, to gauge in the time, a lot of different things from him. But it's just one of those things, you know, Coach Safe told me backstage, he said, when he starts moving his feet, he's going to be moving, right? When he gets ready to plant, expect a big shot, a big kick, a big motion, you know? So I think that a big major one thing that contributed majorly to that has been my octagon time, right? I did have a lot of experience. You know, my first 4 fights were fairly exciting, you know, even the Court McGee fight. You know, I did get schooled a little bit in that one. You know, old Yeller did teach me a thing or two about MMA in that fight. But, you know, all credit to Court. He's a legend, right? You don't have 23 fights in the UFC by accident, you know? So I tip my hat to that guy. I tip my hat to Max, tip my hat to Sasha. And tonight I tip my hat to Michael Gillmore. It's always love and respect for me for every single one of my opponents. So I think a major contribution to my performance tonight is my ability to be comfortable now, you know? I feel like I could get a lot more dangerous. There's still a lot more work to do. You know, I'm a lifelong martial artist. Even once I'm done fighting, you know, I'm always gonna be in martial arts one way or another. Who knows, maybe I might have some big shoes to fill for Coach Safe. I might have to take over for him when I get older, right?
Speaking of shoes, I want to hear about the Crocs.
Oh my God. Belal, Mr. Hollywood. That dude, I remember the show after my fight against Sasha Palatnikov in August, right? He's like, oh, Ramiz, we'd love to have you versus Ignacio Bahamondes on Remember the Show. You know, Ignacio's fighting tonight. And I beat Ignacio. I dog-walked Ignacio on Remember the Show. You know, this guy didn't know MMA that much, you know. I had to school him a little bit. And then I think what happened is Belal got a little hurt because, you know, they train at the same gym. So maybe Belal shipped my Crocs to somebody in New York or something like that, right?
So were Crocs the prize?
Yeah, they were the prize. First, you know, and this is what he promised me too. He said that I'm gonna have like those glow-in-the-dark dinosaurs that are gonna be like the little stick-ons that you could put on the Crocs, you know. And then he said they have a sport mode as well. So if I'm ever in any kind of beef in Dallas, I could just put them on sport mode and get out of there.
It's amazing. I'm wearing Crocs right now. So
I know, right?
I love Crocs.
You better, when you see Belal, you better tell him where are Ramiz's Crocs.
I will.
No more games.
What do you think's next? Do you want to get back in there quick? Do you want to take some time off? What's your?
I wouldn't mind any option. You know, I know Ramadan's coming up. I usually don't like to fight during Ramadan. I've done a couple of training camps in Ramadan. It's pretty brutal. Like I said, I respect Belal for fighting during Ramadan. He has a tough task in front of him. But for me personally, I like to, you know, it's my time. It's my spiritual journey. You know, during Ramadan, I like to be just really, you know, really in tune with my religion and my faith. So I like to take that month off and rest and recalibrate. So, you know, who knows? God willing, I'll be healthy. You know, I'm on cloud 9 right now, so I can't tell you if I have any kind of injuries or anything like that. But we'll see tomorrow, this week, and we'll see. Hopefully I can get back on the horse.
What about an opponent? Do you have someone you want to call out? Or?
Nah, I don't usually do call-outs. You know, I don't have anybody in mind. I know there's a lot of exciting welterweights, you know, and we'll see. We'll take it day by day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You mentioned your experience in there in the UFC, and you know what that helped you in this fight. Do you think Michael's lack of time in the cage is maybe at least the UFC stage? Maybe
no, absolutely not. I mean, listen, you get some debut fighters that.
Hey, what did you say about the Crocs?
Hey, I want my Crocs, Belal. Don't interrupt this press conference, young man, unless you got my Crocs.
Had to get two pairs now.
Man, huh? This dude. Let me get my Crocs, Belal. I'll give you the address, 301 Texas Street, Dallas, Texas.
All right, well, so you talk about the experience. What did you know about him coming in? What was the game plan going in there tonight?
Honestly, I mean, realistically speaking, I took this fight on like 8 or 9 days notice. So, you know, you could say game plan or whatever, but, you know, I just had to trust my octagon time and ring generalship, you know, that I've acquired through these fights that I've had. And it's crazy because I told my coach, I said, you know, on the regional scene, I looked a lot more antsy than I do in the octagon, you know? And it's crazy because, you know, I was always worried. I was like, man, when I get to the UFC, am I going to be jittery? Am I going to be this? And, you know, I got thrown to the wolves in my debut, and I handled it very well. You know, even in my losses, I'm just as defiant as I am in my wins. So it doesn't matter to me, man. I feel starting to get even more and more comfortable, so I think I'll be a lot more dangerous.
When you talked about, you know, I'm not going to call him Old Yeller. I would never do that. But you talked about.
Hey, I love him. I
talked
love
about
Court.
What did you really take away from that? Because I mean, if you're coming in now feeling calmer, you're feeling more confident, but you're coming off of a loss. So
Yeah.
what did you learn in that fight that really helped you propel yourself for this one?
You know, I just learned that never quit attitude. That's something that Court has, you know? And just like I said, you know, the dude came off of 4 losses. Some of them were very close, you know? Some of those, like, you look at Court's career, just like Max Griffin's career, for instance, right? Some of those losses that they had, they could have gone either way, honestly, and probably more so in favor of the 2 opponents that I fell short to. But that's just the name of the game. That's MMA. That's a sport that we're in, you know? It's the level of unpredictability, you know? Maybe it's a knock on the judges. Who knows? Maybe we need to put some former fighters in there. We'll see.
And last thing for me, you know, you went to your tried and true rear naked choke, which you get quite a bit. If you can, just how'd you set that up and walk us through that finish?
Man, I have been getting hammered on my rear naked choke by my coach and by my teammates. So, I mean, it just, you know, it just became like, you know, it just became
Second nature.
yeah, I swear to God, just like that. You know, I just went in there and I was just like, dude, all right, cool. And one thing that I kept doing was I kept raking the face. So I kept going hand, because he was defending well, you know, in the opening frame, he was defending really well. And there's a little trick, little technique that I learned from a couple of my old Brazilian jiu-jitsu coaches that taught me when I was up and coming. They're like, you know, if you can't get it, keep raking the face, and then it's going to make it super uncomfortable. One of your forearms is going to slip into the neck, and game over.
Speaking of uncomfortable, even the commentators were saying that when you had the crank sort of on his jaw, they were wondering whether if that was going to be enough. Did you feel that he was maybe close, even just you know, maybe giving up at that point?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he was getting close. I heard like, you know, it's like a kind of like a distress call. I like to think about it. You know, when people they're in that position, they're like, you know, trying to breathe. You know, you're covering their mouth. And another technique that I like to use a lot is I like to put my hand over people's nose and mouth. You know, kind of be a dick a little bit, but it's part of the game. It's effective, man. It's effective. So if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. But that's not cheating, though.
That's not cheating.
No, it's not.
Congrats on the victory.
Thank you so much.